Hey guys, so last game I said that this episode would be my suggestions for kill streaks on Modern Warfare 3. Now this would be the way I would design Call of Duty. It is probably going to be nothing like the product that will be released, but it's all cool to imagine yourself as a developer once in a while. First change is I'm going to bring back stackable kill streaks. The game needs a faster pace than Black Ops and more action. What do I mean by action? Is to keep the player actively on their toes. In Black Ops you're searching for your enemies, and in Modern Warfare 2 that's the case as well, but you have more kill streaks in the air that you need to avoid or take down. So when I mean to add more action, I want also for there to be more involvement in objective based games and more kill streaks and threats for players on the ground. So what this will do is to make players focus more on their kill streaks and objectives than gun skill. After all, this is meant to be the game that simulates World War III. So instead of what is considered kill streaks, you have action streaks. And these action streaks provide players points for capturing, killing, air support, team radar, and bringing in your action streaks. Also, if we look at points as the same in the game right now, then capturing a flag, like in Domination, is worth 3 times the amount as killing an enemy. So right at the start of a game, if you capture a flag, you can go straight to your 150 point action streak. Example, the UAV. So right off the bat, heading into the game, radar is sent up, if the player has it on of course, and the objective players have a head start on those who decided to only kill. Of course, the UAV goes up for all players, but still. Also, in a game type like Search and Destroy, where each kill is worth 500 points, then high action streaks become easily obtainable each round for more chaos. So with only 2 kills in Search and Destroy, you could send up, say, a Harrier, which means it would be pretty easy to send up high action streaks each round, and those that unlock higher action streaks would be able to take out the lower air support or ground support. So the next decision you must make is deciding which support for the game you will run, air support or ground support. So you can't have a booby trap which goes on the ground and a spy plane because they are 2 different fields of support. This would prevent those players who would try and go for the best ground support and air support. The last thing which affects your decision between the two is that ground support is interactive, so you must control or place these on the map. The air support is uncontrollable, so that players decide if they want to have their action streaks do the work for them, or they can control them and gain more points out of their kill streaks. So here are the ground support streaks, and a brief description of them. Counter UAV, 150 points, 3 kills. The player places a jammer on the map which takes out the enemy's radar of the entire map until a player discovers it. Hacker Pro allows the ability to spot counter UAVs. Booby Trap, 300 points, 6 kills. The player sets up a booby trap which lasts for the entire round or match and functions as a spike pit that players fall into and die. Lightweight users have the ability to move over these traps without falling in. Lightweight Pro users can run over the traps and cause them to be destroyed. Minefield, 300 points, 6 kills. The player sets up a minefield which lasts for the entire round or match. Once all the mines are gone, then the minefield is finished also. Flakjacker can survive up to 2 mine explosions, and the Pro version allows them to see where the mines are located to avoid. Remember that the points stack, and you don't necessarily need 6 kills, and you don't necessarily need to have 6 kills. It's just about 300 points equals 6 kills. So if you get that, I can go on. The next one is Machine Gun Camp, which equals 450 points, or 9 kills. The player stands on the position of the map he wants to place his machine gun, on which he has an unlimited amount of rounds, but is slow to start, and is also indicated on the opposition's radar, and cannot be moved once placed. However, the player can move around the map afterwards, and others may take charge of the machine gun. Machine guns also cannot be rotated more than 45 degrees. The gun is removed if the player dies or the camp is destroyed. Reinforcements, 600 points, 12 kills. When the player uses this action streak, the team skips their kill camps and instantly respawns. It also delays the enemy's spawn 2 seconds when they die. This action streak will add on to other reinforcement streaks if multiple users are using them at once. Reinforcements last for 2 minutes of gameplay. Tank, 750 points, 15 kills. When the player calls in a tank, he enters into the tank cam screen, and a tank enters the battlefield from the outskirts of the map. Players can control the direction of tanks and even have the ability to take teammates into the vehicle, firing while you steer. It takes 3 missiles to take out a tank, and once inside the tank, players cannot get out, so once the tank is destroyed, they die and respawn. Tanks also have limited places to move around the map and cannot target the middle flag of domination, or the center of the map. So here is the air support streaks and a brief description of them. Spy plane, 150 points, 3 kills. The player calls up a spy plane, which provides accurate radar of the enemy's positions on the map. Enemies that use Ninja Pro are not detected on the radar. Airstrike, 300 points, 6 kills. The player unlocks a flare which they can chuck on the ground where they want the target to be. The airstrike will always come from the south and end north on the map. Airstrikes can only kill enemies and won't destroy equipment or tanks. Attack helicopter, 300 points, 6 kills. The player calls in an attack helicopter which will search the map for enemies. The attack helicopter won't destroy equipment or tanks. Attack helicopters are destroyed with 1 missile. Coordinate targets, 450 points, 9 kills. The player receives the ability to call in accurate bomb targets that can destroy equipment, tanks and enemies. The player uses a laser sight which comes out of his gun and is viewable by the enemy to call in the coordinates. He then presses the fire button to engage the target. The player has 3 coordinate targets, and it takes 2 hits to take out a tank and only 1 for machine gun camps. Pavlo, 600 points, 12 kills. An armored helicopter that searches and kills enemies. It takes 2 missiles to take this bird out of the sky. Pavlos do not take out units or equipment. Chopper gunner, 750 points, 15 kills. The player calls in a chopper equipped with 2 gunners for more efficiency than the Pavlo. It takes 3 missiles to take this bird out of the sky. Chopper gunners do not destroy units or equipment. Chopper gunners also are not controllable anymore. So along with all these action streaks, there are also additional streaks that can only be unlocked when you reach a certain prestige level in the game. All prestige streaks can also be used together or with either of the 2 air or ground support streaks. Prestige 1, Predator Missile, 300 points, 6 kills. The Predator Missile is fired from above and the player steers the missile to any of the enemies. Prestige 3, Emergency Airdrop, 600 points, 12 kills. The Emergency Airdrop drops 3 action streaks that can be from whichever class you choose when entering the game. You cannot receive prestige streaks in an emergency airdrop. Prestige 5, Harriers, 450 points, 9 kills. Controllable airstrike, followed by a Harrier which stays and kills enemies. Harriers take 1 missile to be brought down. Angel of Death, 750 points, 18 kills. A controllable AC-130, just like in Modern Warfare 2. The AC-130 requires 3 missiles to take down. Finally, one more change I would add to COD is to change back the equipment to the same button as grenades so that you cannot choose claymores or tactical inserts and C4 with grenades. And I would not bring back jammers or motion sensors, which promote camping, but also due to the fact that counter UAV would act like a jammer in the game over the whole map. Action streaks would be also assigned to 4 D-pad buttons and allow users the ability to hold onto streaks. For instance, if I got a UAV, it would go to the left pad. I then obtain a Harrier which goes on the up pad, and I finally get a chopper gunner which goes to the right. Now say you do not use any of those streaks and you die. The next time you receive UAV, or the other two, it goes on the down pad. So your down pad stacks the leftover streaks, while you have the option to use the originals. This would help users who may perhaps want to use their counter UAV later in the game, or coordinate targets, etc., without the game making you lose your previous action streaks. So there's what I would do to change Call of Duty, and if I was making the sequel. If you like my ideas, leave your thoughts in the comments. Next video I have coming, I will be sharing a little bit about myself, so look out for that. And check out my other videos in the meantime and tell me what you think of them. Thanks for watching, guys.